My wife and I, my wife is Japanese, and we built a house only 10 kilometers from Iitate-mura, which is a compulsory evacuation zone. My area is actually only 16 times the background radiation. So, according to the Japanese government, that's safe. If it's 20, you better move. Today I don't want to get too political. I just want to tell you our story and talk about not the children but my children. And then I'd like to draw a very important point about the fact that Fukushima isn't over yet. First of all, on the day of March 12th, we had my wife's family were missing in the tsunami. Unfortunately, we lost a few of them. Her mother and father survived, but they were trapped for a while. We didn't know what was happening. We got a knock on the window from a friend who had a working radio. Unfortunately, mine had broken, saying a power station had exploded. Now, I thought it was the oil-fired power station not too far away. A little bit further down, it was Fukushima. Within about 30 seconds, I had the children in the car. It was raining, a little bit like this morning. We were heading for the mountains on about a third of a tank of gas. We got to the mountains to the west. All of the roads in the mountains were out because we're talking, I think, the fourth heaviest earthquake in human history, and it took out roads everywhere. We finally got over those mountains, and I got my children out. We waited 4 days to get news that my wife's mother and father had survived. I then took the children down to Osaka, and we got them out of the country. My youngest son has very serious respiratory issues. About 4 weeks later, I went back. And for the last year and a half, I've been working on the reconstruction, and also been witness to the terrible ripping apart of a lot of the communities there. We received hate mail for leaving. People were so emotional about the fact that we'd been community leaders and we left people. We left them there to suffer their fate. I went back to try and help with the reconstruction. Unfortunately, I probably should paint myself yellow. I have a heavy dose of radioactive contamination myself. I will be radioactive at least for the next 150 years. My children won't be. And unfortunately, we can't say that about... we can't say that about my daughter and my son's fellow students in their school. We get letters quite regularly from them saying, when you're coming back, it's safe. Their parents are in denial. Who wouldn't be? To live every day breathing that poison, you'd have to be in denial. And my friends are. My family is over there. My daughter's first sentence in English, she wasn't very good at English when she came over to England. And I asked her, I said, what are you going to say when the children ask you why you came to the school in England? And she kind of pulled herself up tall and she said, Daddy, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, I came to England because a nuclear power station exploded and the poison came into our house. So I had to leave. That was the longest sentence my 10-year-old had ever said in English. And that will stay with me for the rest of my life. I'm not going to talk any more about the hardships that we've faced. We lost our house, we lost our organic farm. It was a house we'd spent 2.5 years building ourselves. A lot of people have lost a hell of a lot more over there. But one thing I would like to say is, as I mentioned before, this is going to be my last point. Fukushima isn't over. It's not even nearly over. There's one point that is not getting into the national media, let alone the international media. The spent fuel ponds on reactor 4, on top of reactor 4 alone, and this is regardless of reactor 1, 2 and 3, they hold enough cesium, they hold 85 times the cesium that was released in Chernobyl. If there is an earthquake between a 6 and a 7, the one that we had was a 9. If there is another earthquake and an active fault has opened up under the reactors themselves, that will fall down. There will be a radiological fire that this world has never seen before. Japan will be uninhabitable. The east coast of China will be uninhabitable. Korea, Taiwan will be uninhabitable, and the majority of the west coast of the United States will have to be evacuated. That is China, the second largest economy, Japan, the third largest economy, California, the fourth largest economy in the world, will be stopped in a day. We're talking about a huge risk that we're taking. Nothing is being done for it. Nobody is listening. So please, that is my political point. Please stop nuclear power everywhere and support the Fukushima people.